It's Akira. Welcome to my first episode of Steamage. As you can sort of hear, I'm playing on two monitors. So that's why it says whatever it says in the corner. If you can even see that. I don't even know if you can or not. Who knows? And the audio is glitching in and out. So, let's begin the game. I've only played it for the first 5 minutes ever. But let's see how far we can get in this game. See if it even loads. Okay, so if you haven't known, this is my first game since last year. It's my first episode uploaded to anything. But if you've noticed on Steam, if you have my Steam by any chance, I have over 400 hours on Archeage. Da 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 da! So that's what's been going on. Having 400 hours on Archeage and school. Everyone knows about school. So it's loading very slowly. But I just got out of school. I was busy with school, and you're wondering, Akira, why haven't you posted recently? You know, it's been like 3 months since school's ended and whatnot. So why haven't you posted? And I was like, oh man, that's a good idea. I don't know why. Oh.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day, of every month, of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-ending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been paid exactly for this
I love how they only rendered the office and nothing else. In that shot, at least.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Can I move now? Oh, yep. Okay, so use the mouse to move. The key. Oh, okay. Okay, sounds like E is what you interact with. Sorry. I haven't. Whoa, this feels weird. Hopefully it's not too laggy on your end.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Huh, okay. Let's go this way. Man! Ooh, can I shift? Can I jump? No. Can I do anything besides this? Maybe, who knows? I haven't looked at the keyboard controls. But somebody had a bad day at work. I'm sorry, that was a bad joke. I'm not very funny.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Or did I? Or should I? But, Oh, this is difficult. I'll go through this way. I don't know my left and right, left and right, left and right. Wait. How is it making a door/keyboard sound if I'm not touching anything? Magic.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside you. Oh. Okay. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header, and everyone is unique. You, most of all. Thank you. Thank you. Charts and slides. Okay. Oh.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Boop. Boop, 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 boop.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
I really love the narrator in this. His voice and what he says. It's just really funny to me. Okay, back on track. Let's go back. Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
What if I don't go down? What if I go in this door? Oh, I don't think you can go in that. Okay, I'll just go down.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
What if I
All
am
of my
crazy?
co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason
Stanley,
at all.
I think you are
None of
crazy.
it made any logical sense.
Stanley,
And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make
Stanley,
other
why are you
strange
crazy?
observations.
Come on.
For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! He yelled.
Yes,
This
I'm
is
dreaming.
all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone.
No.
He wasn't going to lose his job.
No.
He wasn't crazy after all.
No.
And he thought to himself, I
I'm not
suppose
crazy.
I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring
Come on, let's just
real-life job
sit
pushing
down here.
buttons. I may as well enjoy this
And
while
just-
I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying
Control.
and began to gently float above the ground.
Whoa! Whoa!
Then he imagined himself
Whoa!
soaring
Magic.
through space on a magical star field, and it too
how
appeared.
beautiful.
It was so much fun.
Look at how beautiful
And
this
Stanley
is, guys.
marveled that he had still not woken
Isn't
up.
it beautiful?
How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner.
What is that?
Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Oh.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who
Mr.
found
Narrator,
it
why are
particularly
you saying this
strange.
kind of stuff?
I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought.
Narrator,
And while he
this is
thought it all
scary.
very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself,
Am I deceiving
believing
myself?
that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself?
Oh,
Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
oh no.
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream.
Yes, it is
Did
a
the voice
dream.
not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that?
I don't
This
know.
voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control. That this was a
Yes,
dream.
I'll prove it to you. I will
So
go
he closed
this
his
way.
eyes gently,
Or close my
and he
eyes.
invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin,
I like
the press of the
cool
mattress
weights
on his
of
back,
blankets.
the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up.
This isn't the first thing I think of, you know,
I'm
when
through with this dream.
I'm sleeping.
I wish it to be
I
over.
think, oh man, I want to
Let me go
to
back
sleep.
to my job.
Not,
Let me
you know.
continue pushing the buttons.
Oh,
Please. It's all I want.
Once this is over,
I
I'm
want
going
my
to do
apartment,
another big
and my
announcement.
wife,
Announcement?
and my job.
Announcement.
All
Whatever.
I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
I am crazy. And open your eyes, Stanley. Where are you? At the cold drinks.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Mariella? I guess you can call me
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Oh.
And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like.
We never
And
even
in
got
that
to see what
moment,
Stanley's
she
face
thought
looks
to
like.
herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind.
Who are you?
I know what is real and what isn't.
But do you
It was
really?
comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life.
I think
She
he
had
said
no time
attention
for
instead
this,
of extension.
so it was only a moment
He said
that she
not
stood
to,
there,
but,
staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
But the ambulance!